All right, that's the end of that stream, and it's Cyborg here with Django, and we're gonna break down the gameplay stream that we just saw, where they revealed Mileena's gameplay, Takeda's gameplay, Kung Jin's gameplay, the cross-platform support for the arcade sticks, or cross-generation, I should say, for the PS3 arcade sticks. They revealed the Quitalities, and
Quitality!
and is that it? Did I cover everything?
And the bonus game modes. The
Bonus game modes, there you
test
go.
your luck and custom combat.
Test your luck in custom combat. Good. All right. So that was all that, and they did some competitive matches and competitive talk as well, which is obviously really cool to see that. And
It is.
16-bit was great, and giving some really good in-depth like competitive knowledge and just the basic terminology and explanations. That was really essential and helpful, I'm sure, to a lot of people. But let's break this down.
Yes.
Starting back with Molina.
Mileena.
Oh boy, does she look good in this game.
She looks beautifully horrible.
Yes, it's a...
She fucking, just looking at her face creeps me out.
Right, yeah.
Like, it literally gives me the willies.
Okay, so... I've never been huge into Molina, like gameplay-wise, look-wise, or anything like that. She just never really appealed to me that much. But she looks fantastic in this game. So, props to her. I'm so happy for her fans. That's awesome, guys. I can't imagine how happy... if this was my favorite character, I'd be completely 100% satisfied. Let's put it that way. They're doing her great justice. I love the mouth look in this game. That's how it should have always been. It makes so much more sense than
It does,
giant
yeah.
Baraka mouth. That even Baraka, I mean, logically, it just doesn't make sense how a mouth could operate like that. But it makes sense in the way that they have it suggested that her mouth is, what am I thinking? Almost like a lizard or a snake, where it can open up really larger than what it appears to. It's very deceiving in that way, and it looks very menacing, grotesque, but also if you put your fingers over the teeth part, she looks beautiful. She does. Yeah, but that's what should happen. It just looks a lot more mutated and science project gone wrong than it did before. Before it just looked like pretty lady with a giant ass Tarkatan mouth.
Right.
Tarkatan. And now it looks more like a mixture of the two.
It looks like a mess, but it should look like a mess. Like, I get it.
Right.
But it looks like, oh my God, and like, there it is. Like, it's just teeth growing out of her friggin' head. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It looks like the worst. Like, you need a dentist so bad. Like, oh God, like it's not even like a big mouth anymore. It's just like, and that's what it is. That's what she is. Like, in the new timeline, at least, like, Shang Tsung put a bunch of bullshit in a pot and she came out. So it's chaotic and it's not right. It doesn't make sense, but it shouldn't, because she's just a weird mutant creature that shouldn't exist. But it looks so gross.
Best she's ever looked, do you think?
Oh, absolutely. Without it.
Yeah. I'd say gameplay wise and look wise. She just
her
looks
animations
fantastic.
are fantastic.
Oh yeah, so smooth. This whole game just looks incredibly smooth animation wise. I've always been praising that from the start. And it seems like each stream, each new build we see, it just seems even smoother and more polished and everything, which it should be. And they keep outdoing themselves each version we see.
It's really just so much attention to detail, like just the little things, like her move, like she has like a legit ass Bronco Buster in this first variation.
Yeah,
I don't know,
ethereal.
Yeah, that one. And then, but then she has all those awesome moves in that one, like where she's teleporting around the screen.
Yeah, she can teleport
and it's just
forward.
tricky, and she can just disappear. Her hitbox goes off the screen completely.
Right, she wows out, basically. She teleports forward, teleports backward, or she can teleport in place. It's really interesting. It's fascinating that they chose to do a whole variation based around her teleport kick, and the idea that clearly this is nothing new for her to be able to teleport like that. But I don't think anybody predicted that she was going to be able to do something like that. And it just looks awesome. I love how she throws the Sai into the ground before she does it. That's cool.
It's going to be so annoying, but that's okay. Like, that's what it's built for. But it's just going to be irritating. Like, yeah, you can like get up close and then throw it behind them and then continue your combo or start a combo there. Right. Like, mix up pressure. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky. Molina's always been kind of tricky.
Yeah.
But yes, and
Oh
then
man, that Bronco Buster
yeah,
thing is just hilarious.
the next one that we saw was Ravenous, which is her mask is off, so you get to see that lovely face all the time.
Yeah.
And she gains high and low pounce and biting attacks. And I'm gonna just do a quick shout out to the combat tab. Thank you for like putting all this information together in a nice little compact form. It makes it easier so I don't have to write my own notes. So thank you very much for doing that. But
shout outs.
Indeed. But yeah, she has high and low pounce and biting attacks. So that's really cool.
Oh god, it's so gross.
Yes, the sound effects of her just biting into the dude's neck is just ugh. It was
just
disturbing.
stay away from me with that thing, man.
It's vicious. It's vicious. It's very disturbing.
It's great, but it's not fun to look at or feel or just like I said, it just gives me the willies. So I mean, yeah, that's kudos to the design, the art, the sound, all that stuff. Like it all works together to be wonderfully disgusting.
Right. Next up, we got Piercing, and she gains unique attacks utilizing her Sai. Of course, she has low Sai, or she does the splits. She has the Sai in the air. She had the double Sai for enhanced. I think that's probably a universal one. But what was the other Sai stuff? She had a lot of like tricky.
She had a low Sai.
Right, I just said that with the splits and everything.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. Like, yeah, she has a low Sai, air Sai. She has like lots of pouncy type things where she stabs you.
Right. Yeah. Indeed. And it's all about her Sai, of course. So we've got something based on her teleportation, something based on her Sai, and something based on like her just viciousness with her mouth and stuff. So yeah, definitely playing up all the unique personality traits she has, and that's perfect for. I mean, that's exactly what you would come to expect for a character. So I'm glad they did that. Like with Reptile, I was a little bit disappointed because he has like stinky, slowing things down, and well, not really slowing things down. It's just he's so quick.
Right.
And then the invisibility, which you're kind of doing. Playing up the same types of things, but I was looking more towards like force ball, and like prehensile tongue and stuff like that. But totally, I think she's done really, really well.
She is. Yeah, it's fantastic. Like, you can just tell by watching her animations and shit that a lot of love.
So smooth, yeah, definitely.
Oh god, her X-ray is nasty.
Oh yeah, her X-ray is absolutely gross, and her fatality is disturbing.
Yeah, what did you call it? It was so
the
gross.
Corn on the cob. It's like face on the cob. It's just
That's
totally
exactly
stab her size into there like you would a corn on the cob. Rip it off, and then she just gnaws on it. And the leftover face, that leftover face model, the damage on that thing just looks so perfectly right to what you would think it should look like. It's just vicious. Seeing her like chomp into somebody's face during her X-ray, like into their skull.
Yeah,
that was brutal. Like I love that aspect because they never really. Up until MK9, they never really played that up, and with MK9, they started it, but here they're like going full bore with that idea that she's just a carnivore that just completely gnaws into people.
Yeah, she's just feral and gross. But like, it just makes me think about like story shit. Like, what the hell happened with her and Rico?
Right.
Like, that dude put up with that. Like, first of all, A++ for commitment, dude, because. Damn, but like, he just makes you wonder, like, what the hell happened to him? Maybe she got a little too ravenous one night and he never came back.
God.
He never left the bedroom.
I hope not, but it's possible. It's very well likely that happened.
Oh gosh, like it's just, but like, yeah, no. I'm really interested to see how that relationship plays out. I think that's gonna be really interesting.
Indeed.
Because to see this feral, gross thing they've created with Molina in this game especially, but she seems really infatuated or whatever. Maybe she's lying. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out in the comics, but I want to see how that plays out.
Right, me too. She's a really interesting character this time around, and like I said, props to Mileena fans. Glad you guys got a character, or your favorite character, done. Like I said, my personal favorite incarnation of Mileena is in this game, so hopefully you guys feel the same. Because even though I don't know if I'll like actually try and play her. I think I said in the Graveyard Shift, she's one that I definitely will not like want to play. But I like to try everybody at least once. But they definitely made a fan out of me in the terms of just her gameplay looks like a ton of fun.
I don't know if I can like kind of like Temp with his like Devora thing or whatever. Right. Even though I guess it's not that bad with him, but I just can't look. I can't. It just grosses me out.
I enjoy it. It's just monstrous. It's fun.
I recognize completely how great it is, and the art and the design that went into it, and it looks fantastic. But it just gives me the heebie-jeebies.
All right, and special shout out to the little leapfrog. I love that. I love that.
Oh
little
yeah,
attack.
oh god, that's gonna be so annoying. But it's gonna be fun if you're playing as her, just to troll people with it.
Yeah.
If you kill people, like that's how you finish a match with a little leapfrog. Oh, the salt is gonna be godlike. It's gonna be crazy.
Right, right. And we saw. Let's not forget this. We did see Cold War Scorpion. Looks absolutely awesome.
Oh, we did. Yeah. He looks really, really, really good. He looks a little cabal-y, but you know what? That's all right. He still looks really, really cool. It's gonna be fun to see. I'm really excited about these skins, man.
Yeah, the skins, and we also got to see, not a part of the stream, but just real quick, we got to see the samurai ones, and those look absolutely badass.
Do. It's crazy how awesome those things look.
Yeah.
I really like Kinchi's. He's got that really cool Oni mask, but his eyes are covered up. Like they're all just so good.
Yeah, I love that. I love it a lot. I love it long time. But
like I want to see more from that same theme. Like I want more characters to get the feudal Japan.
Well, I mean, I'd agree with you, but I'm excited to see what the other four are gonna be, because just the variety is gonna be awesome. I hope they're all that like different. Like
feudal Japan stuff is just something that I have a thing for. I really like seeing that stuff, like that samurai Shinnok.
I'm completely with you.
It looks so good, and I want to see more like just old school feudal Japan like reimaginings of characters.
Totally,
so
it definitely fits with MK's theme. It just right there with you. Next up, we had Takeda. And
okay, this guy. This guy right here is might be the highlight of Mortal Kombat X for me thus far. This dude is legit. Like I always I don't know why, but as soon as, or I don't know when it started, but very early I got a man crush on this guy.
See, when I watched a stream before Django did, and when I watched it, I'm like, as soon as I saw his gameplay, I was like, he is going to love this character. This just totally screams you. For some reason, and I enjoyed him a lot too. So, totally.
And like I've been cracking jokes or whatever about his Omega Redness, and that's cool too. Which it's a joke. It's kind of funny, but I just like Omega Red. I think he's a cool character. But I feel like it all just kind of, whenever you see it in motion, and you hear the character, and you see the character, and you see the effects that they put on him, and the art design, and the personality that he has. Whenever you hear him talk for the first time, it's the first time we've heard him speak at all.
Yeah,
like everything just gels into this really fucking cool character that I'm like, this is it. This is my guy. Like Sub-Zero. I don't know. We've had some good times, bro. But
what about Aaron Black?
Oh well, see, we haven't seen him either. I don't know. I don't know, man, but it's going to be hard to top Takeda for me right now.
Yeah, I'm glad you're digging him so much. He looks like a lot of fun. He definitely won me over with his gameplay. I think that was what I originally said when I first saw him, when we saw the story trailer and we broke that down. I said, I'm a little disappointed with the way he looks, but it's not like so disappointing that it doesn't matter what his gameplay is going to look like. It really was going to harp on his gameplay, and I think he looks like a ton of fun. I don't think I'll main him, but I definitely want to try him. He just looks like a lot of fun.
This guy, I don't know, like he kind of, as far as vibe-wise, just seeing him playing and whatnot, he kind of strikes me similarly to how Smoke did in Mortal Kombat 9. Like, he's this other character that they kind of reinvented almost from the ground up, and they did such a cool job with him. And he has all this personality and flash and style to him. And it just comes off really, really nicely. And he even has like that kind of a Smoke type air teleport punch type thing. But it's better than Smoke's was. But he's also like, and I said this while we were watching it, he's Nightwing. He's like the Mortal Kombat version of Nightwing, who was my absolute main in Injustice, still is. And this guy just he's like this combination of all these cool things. But what's really interesting is that he is a combination of Nightwing. He has a little bit of that cool Smoke vibe. He has a little bit of, naturally, Scorpion and Kenshi. A little bit, though. But he's not at all a clone of any of those characters.
Right.
Like, like this guy, like no, he's not a Scorpion clone. He is not a Kenshi clone whatsoever.
No. He's not a clone of either. They definitely made him really unique, as I think they do every character these days.
They have thus far, yeah. Like,
yeah,
but I mean, he's way more unique than even like Cassie is, and I'm not bagging on Cassie. Cassie's great. But this guy, like, you get his two influences, but I don't know, like if you didn't know that he was connected to those two characters, you might not pick up on it.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, that's kind of how I feel about it. Like, Jackie, I feel like she's pretty obvious where she kind of gets her stuff from. Kung Jin does a pretty good job, too, of differentiating himself. But we'll get to him in a second. But just Takeda, man, and just gameplay, he has so much cool stuff. With his first Shirai Ryu stuff where he has, the cool scorpion touches here and there. He's got the teleports. He's got the really cool mask, and he looks like a modern ninja, which is fun. It's like another update of what is a Mortal Kombat ninja. We had the originals, then we had the cyber ninjas, and he's just another update on Mortal Kombat ninjas in general. He's still very much a ninja to me, though.
Yeah, no,
like,
totally.
Like even down to his like animations, like you said, like his jump is like that cool sideways jump and type shit like that. Like he's just a cool character, and you can tell he was designed like, you know what, screw whatever, we're just gonna design this guy from the ground up to be cool. Like he looks cool, he moves cool, and to me, like that's the vibe I get from Takeda. I'm gonna have so much fun with this guy.
Right. Let's break down his
okay.
Yeah, his different variations real quick. We start off with Shiri Ryu, and
right, where he has the teleports.
Right, he's got like his quick phase and all that cool stuff. He's got the flip kick, and like you said, the teleport and the
his whips are universal.
Right. His whips are universal, and then his lasher, which was his next one they showed, gains the attacks utilizing the charged electrical whips. And was that the one where he used like the Scorpion version type stuff where he pulls him in, or was that part of Shiri Ryu?
I don't remember. I'm trying to look at it right now. Yeah, he's got the. I guess in this one, like he has that low thing that's like a low launcher. Right. Oh yeah, he's got that awesome anti-air in this one.
Yeah,
that crazy anti-air is going to be so good.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the one where he actually pulls him in like Scorpion, then punches him in the face, and when he jumps up in the air, he can pull him in as well.
I didn't see that. Oh man, these flurries are crazy, because that straight up is a Nightwing thing. Like that's what Nightwing had in Injustice, and that was one of his best tools. Is just that command flurry he had.
Yeah, the Shiri Ryu has the Punch Fury, and then the Lasher, they changed that Punch Fury into the Lash Fury, where he just quickly swings him around.
Oh god, it's just this guy. He looks so much fun to play.
And then finally,
I'm so excited for this dude.
Then finally we had Ronin, which was using. I don't think anybody predicted this one was going to be a thing, but he has the dual pulse blades, almost like Sector from Armageddon.
Right.
And they do them really well in this game. They look like a lot of fun. They can even do it as a projectile attack, which is neat. Or you can throw them on the ground for a trap, which you can set off anytime you want, which is kind of neat.
And it's cool that, they are the Ronin variation, because that kind of, gives off that Kenshi vibe a little bit.
Right.
And so that's why he's using, swords and stuff in this. But they're so cool. Like they can reflect. They have the thing where he hits them together or whatnot, and it sends out like a pulse beam.
Yeah.
Like it's just such and that's a big difference. That pulse beam especially. That's a big difference from his other variations.
Yeah.
Like this one, like immediately this gives him some zoning options, both reflecting and having the projectile. I don't feel like the other ones, I don't remember them having a lot of projectiles. Like he had good spacing. Like that's kind of a really fun thing about Takeda with those whips. He can kind of control that mid range really well. So it's like, oh, I don't know how to get too close, which is interesting because that's also a Kenshi thing. Yeah. With Kenshi, it's always a thing like I gotta kind of keep in mind where I am and what he can hit me with his telekinesis. And Takeda is similar, but he's using his whips to do it.
Yeah.
So that's also a really fun little homage they have with him.
Indeed. And then we have his X-ray, which was he shoots the whip like through their mouth with the hook and everything going to the back of their head. and pulls them closer, and then wraps it around their head, and then like throws them to the ground, and then kicks them in the face.
Right.
It
yeah,
just
with
looked
that
brutal.
heel kick that's just ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, it just like completely impacts their face.
Another really fun thing about the Ronin variation is he can throw his swords down and kind of set traps. That's
Right.
a big deal, and that's not. And I don't know. That's not something I've ever played with that much with the character. A little bit with Conra and Killer Instinct. He's my main in Killer Instinct, and so that's going to be fun. And also the range is kind of like a little bit of like a Dalsim type thing where you can extend out an attack way beyond you. So that's going to be fun. Like he's all these cool things rolled into one character, but it's just going to be so much fun to play.
Yeah.
And then he has his fatality.
Yeah, his fatality looked really, really awesome.
I don't even know what I didn't even know what I was seeing whenever he did his fatality.
Yeah, he shoots like his whip down their throats, and then the hooks come out, which then he pulls back, retracts it, and then it pulls their entire like intestinal tract out with it. It just looks insanely
and it's
brutal.
just like sitting there bubbling out
gargling blood, yeah.
Out of the hole in his head. Like it's not even really his mouth anymore. He like cuts a giant hole in his face and pulls out God knows what from God knows where. Ugh. It's a good fatality though.
Oh yeah, it's very very good. They've all been pretty damn good in this game for the most part.
They have been. That's a good one. I can't wait to see more of Takeda. I want to see his other skins. I want to see his other fatalities and his brutalities. That's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, indeed. And then from there, we had the arcade sticks were confirmed to be the PS3 arcade sticks can be used on PS4, so cross-generational. And so that's good news for a lot of people that have obviously arcade sticks for the PS3 that they want to be able to use on the PS4 version. Xbox fans, you're kind of still left in the dark for 360 sticks. Looks like you're still gonna have to upgrade to Xbox One, but hey, at least they got two. I think that's more of an Xbox issue than a Sony issue, or like just
probably like a hardware type thing,
right? Because I've seen ones that go from PS3 to PS4 before in other games as well. Whereas Xbox, it's different. There must be some sort of different software, hardware issue that disallows them to do that. It's not a favoritism thing.
There are, like 360, Xbox One sticks available out there.
Right.
And also PDP is putting out their fight pads.
Yeah, indeed.
So there are options. Just, I guess right now we haven't seen, they didn't announce an official MKX fight stick.
No. I was a little bit disappointed by that, but no, it's perfectly fine. There's so many... If you're a competitive player, chances are you already have a fight stick. So
right, there are options out there if you just need a stick for your Xbox One or whatever.
Indeed. All right, from there.
And then they did Test Your Luck.
Yeah, they got Test Your Luck, and then they did the Custom Combat. Test Your Luck Test Your Luck looked very similar to the MK9 version, except for. Well, no, it's the same type of stuff, but just obviously new modifications along with previous
and
ones.
More.
Yeah, a lot more. It just looked like fun. Once again, just a goofy, wacky mode just for random type effects. Or you can play it with a friend who... Well, actually, the custom combat would be better for that, but yes, for the Test Your Luck is just great fun, wackiness, and then
it's chaos. It's just ridiculous, but that's part of the fun.
Complete randomness, for sure. And then the custom combat... would be great for, say, the person you're facing is better than you, or just whatever the case may be. Right. You can give yourself, nerfs while buffing the other person, so you make yourself have a lot of handicaps, and there's just a lot of fun to it. And you can choose up to 2 each, and then you can make it so it's either just you it's affecting, them they're like affecting your opponent, or just everyone, which is really cool because you have to decide. Do I want to give myself upgrades and advantages, or do I want to hurt them and make it harder? Say they're somebody that relies on a lot of jump kicks. There's one that's called like bad jumps that hurts them to do jump attacks. So then that limits their game. Say there's somebody that spams jump kicks or jump attacks. That's how you can hurt them. So there's actually a strategy to it. It's not just simple.
And you can set up a thing to where it's not just it's not that ridiculous,
right?
You can give like you said, if there's like a big skill gap between you and who you're playing with, you can just set up this player does double damage,
Right,
And
right.
and that's it. Or, this player has a little bit of health, or this player has full super all the time. And
Yeah.
so it's not really that chaotic if you do that. It's just kind of evening out the handicap and making it more fair and fun.
Yeah, no, it's a great mode to have. It just sounds like a lot of fun, and like I said, there's a sense of strategy to it. It's not just simply let's just choose random things or let's just have fun with all these. You can actually play this competitively and make an argument for it. Not maybe in a tournament scene, obviously, but
Right.
competitively with a friend. You can make an argument that this could actually have a lot of strategical like ideas and concepts behind it. Like I said, the whole example of somebody uses jump attacks a bunch, you're going to want to hurt them with that instead of maybe giving yourself something special. So, yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of fun. There's so many that you can unlock. You have to unlock them by doing challenge tower type stuff
Right,
and the
yes.
combat towers and the daily challenges, etc. And unlock
And
them
the
maybe through
crypt.
the crypt, right?
They're in the crypt too, apparently.
So, yes, I look forward to unlocking a bunch of them. And we also did see some character assists from like Cabal and Cyrax and Rain, etc. So,
Right.
probably less likely they're in the game. I didn't see any playable character ones when they scrolled through it. Just, from what I saw, the glimpse that we did get to see, I didn't see any playable character assists. But, that is what it is. I'm obviously disappointed Cyrax likely isn't going to be in the game. But I came to terms with that a long time ago, so not a huge deal. But overall, I think it's just awesome that they're gonna include a bunch of things in the game. So good. That's just awesome. It just looks like a lot of fun.
And also, random character select is back. I mean stage select, like 50-50.
Right. 50-50 stage select where both of you select a stage and then it just randomly decides between the two, which is actually that's awesome. They had an injustice, and I'm glad they're bringing
Right.
it to Mortal Kombat.
That is very good to see. Officially confirmed.
Right.
It is in there.
But moving on from that, one thing I do want to say about that, it's a shame it's not available online. The custom combat.
Is it not?
No, they said in the stream it's only available local offline.
Okay.
Which is a weird.
Yeah, that is a little bit. Yeah.
It's a weird choice because I could totally understand why they wouldn't have it for like matchmaking because that would just be a pain in the ass. But even then, it's like I said, there is strategical elements to it. But yeah, in matchmaking it could get a little nuts. But in a private session,
you wouldn't want that in ranked or anything.
Right. In a private session, though, say I want to face you online and we just want to use that in a strategical way, I think that's a lot of fun. Or even just like I said, if you have somebody that's better than you and they want to, give themselves like nerf themselves in a certain way to give you an advantage, just so it's a little bit more fair, then yeah, that should be a thing. So I'm not really seeing maybe there's complications online or something. I don't know, but that's a shame.
There might be a technical issue or something, but
That's a shame,
that would have been fun.
But yeah, unfortunately that's not the case. But moving on from there, we got to see Kung Jin.
One more whole character.
Yeah, indeed. We got to see another variation, as Tyler Lansdowne kept putting it. But hey, shout out to Tyler Lansdowne. That dude was keeping it on track during the stream. Every time, Razors and I criticism for the last stream was just why aren't they showing more? Why aren't they showing more? Well, this time it seems like, I mean, obviously they're just all playing a role and they have some sort of pre-rehearsal of how they're going to play things out, of course. But Tyler was just keeping it centered each time, like, hey, show the fatality now. Let's not like tease them anymore. Let's not wait. Let's show the fatality now. Hey, you got a full bar. Show the X-ray right now. Hey, let's show another character. Like, he was the dude keep pushing it forward, and I commend that dude. So thank you, sir. You were the one granted that opportunity to keep things going, but they definitely heard the fans. A lot of fans were complaining. They want to see more, and this stream they definitely delivered. But yes,
there was nary a lull in this stream.
Oh no, it was packed. And then we got Kung Jin, and I've been looking forward to Kung Jin. Your curiosity for Takeda and interest in Takeda, that's very similar for me with Kung Jin. So I was just really anxious to see his gameplay, to see how he's going to play out, how they're going to do him. And he's very much what I expected with the kind of Green Arrow-like qualities, but then obviously has two other variations on top of that. But let's jump into it with the very first one they showed was Ancestral, and that gives him the ability to essentially change his arrows up. Kind of like I said, the Green Arrow factor. He can change his arrow to fire arrows where it knocks the opponent down. He can make it so it's energy-draining arrows or stun arrows. And he can do his arrows from the air. He can do like a short arrow from the air, so it's like downward at a very short angle, or a longer angle if they're way across the screen. He can do it in the air straight ahead, so you catch somebody jumping. You can do anti-air arrows while they're jumping and you're on the ground. You can do low arrows. It just, the possibilities for this character and just the archer, I love it. I love everything about that variation. It's exactly what I would want in an archer-based character. So I'm very pleased.
I don't know if this was variation specific, but I'm watching the ancestral one right now, and he has his flying dragon kick type move and his the dive kick. I don't know if those are specific to this or they're universal.
Yeah, that's tough to call because I would assume it's universal, because I think the only thing specific about that is the empowered spirit arrows, the ability to change them. I'm almost positive that's the case. But
and I mean, you would think if they were specific to a variation, it would be his Shaolin variation.
Right, that's true.
I'm gonna miss that move where he uses his staff as a flying kick. Like Nightwing had that exact same move in Injustice, and I loved that move. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, I love flying kicks in general like that, just catching people off guard with a flying kick like that. And yeah, I'm glad to see that back. But next we got Bojutsu, or Bojutsu. And...
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Like that? It is. That's fun. Bojutsu.
Yep.
I'm a fan.
And
his bow looks so cool. Like that's just like a fun, creative design. Yeah.
The funny thing about it is when that teaser image that Ed Boon first put up of the top part of it, or the middle part of it, I should say, and everyone was like, "That looks like a bow staff." No, that looks like a bow, like a bow and arrow.
Right. Yeah.
And everyone was debating whether it was one or the other, and it was like split down the middle. And it turns out it's both.
It's both. It's legitimately both. It's so cool. And it has that dragon thing on top. Like it looks.
It reminds me of Quan Chi's staff from Deadly Alliance in the concept art.
Oh yeah.
It's very similar to that like concept of having a staff with like the top part that does something instead of shooting out like insects or locusts. It's fire.
It's just really creative. Like it's not just like we're gonna give him a bow or a staff. Like they kind of made a new sort of weapon. Like it's both. It's still a bow and a staff, but it's fun. It looks cool and it's really cool functionally.
Indeed. And this the way it's used in this variation is really fun. Like I've always loved archers. I also love staff users. So it's like I'm getting 2 in 1 right here. Literally.
Yeah, staff tier is awesome. I was hoping for a really good staff character in this game.
And yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun in this variation. So I'm really excited.
He's got like that air fireball with this one.
Yeah, which that's going to be fun to try and trip people up with. Just keep them on lockdown. So that way I can do some ranged attacks and zone somebody out and then throw that up and then try and rush them with the staff to hit some combos. It looks like a lot of fun.
His X-ray is gross. Like, for like the first couple of hits, I was like, okay, this is kind of standard fare from what we've seen. But as soon as he shoots him in the face, in the eyes with the arrows, and then he grabs those 2 arrows and like slings him back around, like, oh gosh, that's nasty.
We've seen a lot of ones where they're going through the opponent's eyes. I think Reptile, Mileena, now him, and maybe even somebody else's, Sub-Zero. So there's a lot of like eye-based X-rays, which that's a little bit overplayed, and it was overplayed in MK9. But I mean, even still, it looks like it just looks like a lot of. It just looks vicious.
Here's another interesting thing. It looks like the first hit of his X-ray is a legit overhead.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. Like if someone's crouch blocking, and it looks like it came out pretty fast too.
Right.
So that's just immediately going to blow that up. That's going to catch a lot of people off guard.
Yeah, and that's one thing we forgot to mention about Takeda is his starts in the air, like Cyber Sub.
Oh yeah, it did. That's fun. That's different. So those characters that have those kind of different startup X-rays are always a little bit trickier.
Yeah, because you expect them, but you don't expect them because you're like, that character has this, so I know I have to watch out for it. But then, jumping around is just such a normal thing. You're not always gonna be sure when they're gonna do it. So it's very easy to get tripped up by that. But yes, his third variation was Shaolin, and that's where he gains the chakram based normal and special attacks. So it's kind of like his Kung Lao variation, where he can throw the little. It even has the bluish glow like Kung Lao's hat.
Right.
And yeah, it's just he can control the arc on it when he throws it out, and he can make it like a boomerang effect. So yes, it's kind of like his homage to Kung Lao in obviously kind of like how Cassie has some similar Johnny and Sonya stuff. So it's bound to happen. I'm sure Jackie will get some Jax related stuff. But yes.
Berta. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, well, no, I was just gonna say like and I told you this. My only thing I'm not loving about Kung Jin right now is this specific skin.
Yeah, his outfit for me has always looked just okay. It doesn't look bad, doesn't look good. It's just okay. I'm hoping for a second one that's a lot more visually striking and appealing. I'm not a big fan of like browns, tans, like colors like that. Those colors don't do anything for me personally. Just they don't. Even gold, I'm not a big fan of. So it's just, I think it's that tannish color that I'm just not super into, and the burgundy red with it.
Yeah, it's hard to make that stuff pop.
Right. I mean, you're either into that stuff or you're not. And for me, it's just not a style that, like leather and whatnot, that I'm just not into that type of look. And I'm hoping his other one will have a bit more of a striking appearance.
I say like in this Shaolin variation, I don't know if it's variation specific, but he has like a similar like launching move, like his dragon kick, but it's straight up diagonal, so it's basically like a dragon punch.
Yeah, it goes up in the air diagonally, but then he can drop straight down from it too, and like
that's really
do like a kick right down on top of the opponent. So
that's gonna be really good.
Right. But yeah, I mean, then we had his fatality that we saw in the story trailer where he backflip kicks their head off into the air and then shoots them with the 3 arrows going into their eyes and then mouth, of course, and then it lands. Then the body goes down. It kind of pops up in the air just from the impact with the ground, of course, and then you see the blood continually go down the arrows, and just looks beautiful. It's so stylish.
It's beautiful and it's disgusting. But man, all 3 of those characters, like polish and creativity and all this stuff, like all three of these characters look fantastic. They really do. And I'm not just, like I don't love everything that they've done with this game.
Yeah, no,
but
I mean, I don't think
these 3 characters, they look really good. And like I said, with Kung Jin, his that one skin is okay. With Takeda and Mileena, there are both little things here and there, but overall, like I'm impressed.
Right. I don't think anybody likes everything they see. I think that's near impossible. So I mean, to expect to like everything you see is just, you're expecting too much. I mean, that's just not that's not realistic. But MKX has so much more going for it than it doesn't. By a landslide victory, in my opinion.
I absolutely agree.
It just looks amazing.
It's about Mortal Kombat X. The quality and awesomeness of it is about to go up by about 3 times with what they showed next. It was the questions. The questions were fantastic. No. At the end of the questions, they showed my favorite ality thus far. I don't care. For Rage Quitters Online, I've been wanting this for like 4 or 5 games since I started playing video games online, and discovered that, what's a thing? Rage Quitters. And you know what really sucks? Rage Quitters. Like, I'm like, especially in a game like Mortal Kombat or Killer Instinct, like these games that kind of have this attitude and fun personality to punish people like that. Like with Killer Instinct, I was wanting like, like a rage quitter type thing or something like that. Like, it would just be so much fun to humiliate the other person, even if they're gone. They've already bounced, so it's just for you. And I don't know how I feel so much about like putting people in some sort of timeout type situation for doing that, because there are other factors that can contribute to rage quitting or just disconnecting. So it's not always easy to tell, okay, did this person rage quit, or was it like just a disconnect issue or something? This is probably the best you can do. What they did here. What, you have other ideas?
Well, I like it. I love the concept. It's not that I dislike the concept. I just think there should be more done to combat people that are constantly rage quitting. Because for me, yes, seeing somebody's head explode and then saying Quitalities is going to put a smile on my face, and I'll still feel like I got the victory. But it's not going to help prevent people from doing it. Nobody's going to be like scared, like, oh, my character's going to die, so I better stay in here and just lose any. No one's going to. It's not going to prevent somebody from quitting that would otherwise quit. So I feel like there should be something that's actually some sort of penalty for quitting. You should be people that have a lot, once they reach a certain number of disconnects or quits or whatever you want to call them,
right?
They should be higher chance of being paired up against other people that quit. I mean, that's what they do in other games. That's what they do in shooter games, in Grand Theft Auto even. If you're a bad sport player that's constantly causing chaos against other playable people, your icon will turn red for a certain amount of time, and you'll be much more likely to be put with those other types of players. So that way the people that just like to keep the peace and have fun in their own little world, they play with other people that do that. In like Halo, if you quit out enough times, you can get temporary banned. And we're not talking anything like ridiculous, like months on end or anything. We're talking like maybe a day or 24 hours, 48 hours. I don't think that's such a big deal, because then at least we'll give a deterrent, so people will stay in the matches if they have something to fear. This is not something to fear. This is just something, like they even said in the stream, they said this is something to make the winner feel like to look better. But I mean, posting a video of it or just laughing about it, that's cool and all. Like I said, I think they definitely should have it. I don't think it's a waste or anything. I just think there should be something on top of it that's like a penalty, and not something like just because you quit out of like 3 matches in a day. But if there should be a way to see a trend in somebody's behavior.
Right.
And if it's a connection issue, then get a better connection. I mean, I know that sounds harsh, but that's the reality of the situation, is that goes over multiple games. Other games penalize you for constantly quitting out of matches, because that's not fun for anybody. And like I said, 2 or 3 disconnections in a day is fine. Things happen. But when you're getting like several matches in a row or 10 disconnects in a day, it's like that's a pattern. So
no, you're right. That's probably a good way to go about it, is like consistent disconnects might penalize you somehow.
Yeah, and then either match them up against other people that have the same amount of like type of disconnects once you cross that barrier, or or just do temporary bans. Just say you can play online, you're just not allowed in ranked matches for 24 hours. That's it.
And likewise, like not likewise, but also, especially with current gen consoles on the Xbox One, at least I haven't played the PS4, so I don't know, but I think it's similar. Like you can immediately upload just a clip.
Right.
Up to Twitch or to YouTube, I believe. So, it makes it a little something if you can immediately upload a Quitality and you can see the other person's gamer tag. You can kind of more humiliate the person just a little bit. It's a little extra that we have nowadays with current technology. I really like how if someone does just quit out, like the lights immediately go off on the stage.
Yeah. It's kind of funny. I said, it's an awesome addition, and I think it's a lot of fun. So
it's fun. So fun is good.
Right. I'm still wishing for something to combat people from, like, to put the fear in them from wanting and thinking it's okay to just constantly quit out. That sucks, because say I'm decent at the game. I'm not like near tournament or competitive level or anything like that, but I'm decent. And when I go in ranked matches, I'll lose and I'll stay in the match. But then when I finally get my win, especially if it's a hard-fought battle, and the person just quits, that's just
well, yeah, but that's another thing. Like,
it's deflating, and
it is, but it looks like it's not just going to like freeze the match and then say disconnection.
Right.
Like
which
the match
is a good thing.
Kind of has an ending scenario for that case.
It does help in that regard. Yes, I definitely agree. It'll help the winner feel a little bit better, like as they were saying, is the intention. I just wish the people that are getting away with it are going to still keep getting away with it, which sucks.
It's true. It's a really good step in the direction. Like I said, right. I haven't seen any fighting games, coming up with interesting solutions for the rage quitting problem. So it's nice to see that someone's doing it. And it's really cool to see that Mortal Kombat is the first one that I've really seen do it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I think that covers most of it. I mean, after that, we just saw some competitive play between.
Yeah, they had the matches,
right?
Which were great.
It was Derek, and then Derek and Tyler, and poor Tyler just couldn't get it together. He won 1 out of the 3 matches, so it wasn't a complete shutout. but
No, he fought well.
I was rooting for him, and he played a mean Kano there for a while, but he succumbed to the pressure and panicked, like we've all done. I
Right.
that's what I suffer most is when you're down and you're about to lose. That's when it's toughest to come back. It just takes one little slip up, but. Yeah, I'm rooting for the guy. It'll definitely be the underdog story if he ends up winning the very last stream before the game comes out. I would almost question whether they're purposely throwing these things because that's a hell of a story. That's very wrestling-esque.
It's very wrestling-esque. If they ever have Goro playable, he should pick him and just
Right.
stomp,
Just stomp,
all day.
punch walks and stomps.
And then do the brutalities, and it's so good. We saw brutality. What did we see? We
saw
saw
Katanas.
Kitana. Yeah,
Yeah.
she beheaded Mileena. It was really
beautiful, yeah. It came out of nowhere. It always surprised me because I'm not watching the life bar because it's such an intense match. I'm just focusing on the fight, and then all of a sudden, boom, just beheading. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. I love brutality so much.
Yeah, brutalities are awesome. Man, this game, like this stream specifically has done a lot just to raise my hype up even more. And it was already pretty high, but seeing just little things help me out, like the Quitalities, getting to look at the test your luck, seeing how much love went into the characters we saw today. Like, it just bodes well for other aspects when you see the amount of polish they're putting into what we are seeing.
Right. Like I said, I'm totally digging it. Right now for me, I just want to see some Kenshi gameplay, some Goro gameplay, and I'm set. Those are the only two characters left that I'm really like looking forward to. I mean, obviously I want to see Lou, Shinnok, etc., and Jackie just in case. I'm still waiting for
Aaron Black. I gotta see.
Aaron Black, of course. Jackie's the one that I'm just still. It's that wild card that nobody's really looking. Well, I mean, there are some people. There's somebody on YouTube that continually hates that we.
There's one or two.
Don't give her enough love, and it's not that we don't. It's not that we're like talking shit or whatever you want to say. I think was comment. It's not that we're talking shit.
Yeah.
It's that we're just not impressed with her so far, and we're gonna
there's
voice
nothing
that.
to grab onto yet.
We're gonna voice that, and then as soon as they show something that we like, if they do, we're gonna show her the love that she deserves. I mean, I constantly say I'm not really interested in Molina. And I did the same thing with Katana, but as soon as they showed me some gameplay and I saw just how awesome the characters were in this game, I give them love. It's not like I'm stubborn-headed to where I'm just determined not to like something. No, not at all.
Right.
I'm very objective, and if they show me something that I like, I'm going to tell you that I like it. If they show me something I dislike, I'm going to tell you I dislike it. I'm just being honest, and yeah, I mean, Jackie just has...
I think that's exactly what it is. Like, with old characters, like before you saw them, like Katana or Mileena, like people are already huge fans of those characters. So
Right.
even before you see anything about them that's new, you still have people that are character loyalists that really love those characters. And then that wasn't the case with our new characters here. So you see Jackie for a second in the story trailer, and that's it. And aesthetically, she doesn't really have anything that jumps out at you.
Right.
Same is true for Cassie, but she was revealed immediately with gameplay and everything, so you got to see like personality too, and just character, all the stuff like that. Whereas with the two new guys on the special forces, they have distinct visual things that gave them interest immediately. Like Kung Jin is a bow user. That's interesting. That's not something that's ever been in Mortal Kombat before. So immediately gives you something like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That could be fun. I'm interested in seeing that. I want to see more. With Takeda, we've seen him in the comics. We know that he's like going to be somewhat of a Scorpion Kenshi hybrid. That's cool. We saw him in the story trailer. He looks like he's Metal Gear Solid with whips. And all of a sudden you're like, at least I was like, I got to see more. How does this work in a Mortal Kombat game? Whereas, like I said, with Jackie, she just doesn't have anything that's jumping out at me. I need to see it.
Yeah.
Before I can care about it.
Right. That's how I feel the same way. It's not like I dislike her. I have no opinion on her whatsoever. I'm not interested at all. And as soon as they give me something to judge her by, then we'll figure out whether she's great or not. I mean, I have full faith. They've made every character in this game look interesting and fun to play. It's not a matter of, I just want to see what she's all about and see what her gameplay is, what she's bringing to the table. That's all. And
she's got those. She has those wrist-mounted either guns or flamethrowers or both, maybe. And that's cool. That's interesting. That'll be fun to see when it actually happens. But we haven't seen anything of that stuff yet. So it's just a wait and see with Jackie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. Yep.
But
Yeah, that covers the stream. So
really good stream.
Right. It was a fantastic stream. One of my favorites. I think the Brutality one was awesome too, and of course Katana and Ermac and all that stuff. And Reptile. Like I said, they've been showing us some fantastic stuff, and I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully, we'll at least get one more really good one before the release, which I'm pretty sure they're planning on doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'll do it for this this little breakdown or analysis or review of the stream, whatever you want to call it. And just want to say congrats to NetherRealm Studios for going gold. Looks like they completed, the game's complete, so they're going to put that out to manufacturing and all that. Unfortunately,
which means leaks are coming.
Leaks are coming, and looking on the forums already, it looks like apparently a big leak happened, and I'm not too thrilled about that. So
browse at your own risk, everybody.
Yep. But until next time, you guys have a good one.
Bye-bye, everybody.